Rev your engines and fasten your seatbelts. It's time for Thunder Talk with Dan Bailey, keeping you up to date on everything going on this season at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Thunder Talk is powered by Arcadia Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Now, here's your host, Dan Bailey.
Hey, race fans, welcome back to another edition of Thunder Talk on the Winona Sports Network, 99.3 FM. I'm Dan Bailey. For those of you who are listening on the radio, don't forget that you can hear the entire interview each and every week on YouTube. All you need to do is search for Thunder Talk with Dan Bailey. If you are listening on YouTube, I would appreciate it very much if you would hit that like button, hit the bell so that you are notified of future Thunder Talk programs. And of course, don't forget to share this with your friends and subscribe to the channel. We've got a big night coming up at Mississippi Thunder Speedway this Friday evening. It is the $3,000 to win Stars and Stripes 40, presented by Arcadia Motors, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, featuring the WABAM Dirt Kings late models. And joining me on this week's edition of Thunder Talk is the director of the Dirt Kings Late Model Touring Series, Jason Shultz. Jason, welcome to Thunder Talk, and thanks for joining us this week.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dan. Glad to be with you.
I apologize for my voice. The allergies have just been playing havoc with me, but we're going to try and get through this discussion about what I think is going to be a very exciting program this Friday night. And I say that because based on history, the previous visits from the Dirt Kings Late Model Touring Series to Mississippi Thunder Speedway, they have been nothing short of exciting, not only for the competitors on the track, but for those fans in the grandstands as well. Jason, we have had a great showing over the years from your series. Before we talk about what we expect this Friday night, before we talk about who we think is going to be the big winner and who's going to get crowned the king this Friday night, I want to delve a little deeper into the Dirt Kings Late Model Touring Series itself. What was the impetus for this program? How did you put this together? Why did you put this together? Introduce us to the program and the basis and the foundation that got it all started.
Yeah, so the Dirt Kings Tour is in its seventh season, and we launched the Dirt Kings Tour out of what was originally the Wisconsin Dirt Late Model Association in eastern Wisconsin. My wife Sandy and I took over the WDLMA, the Wisconsin Dirt Late Model Association, and essentially closed down that series. And in the wake of that, we created the Dirt Kings Tour. It started with great success in 2017 with our first series, our first season, primarily focused in eastern Wisconsin. And you know, the good news travels fast, the old adage there, and that led us to some growth in our footprint, brought us over to Mississippi Thunder. You know, we started with a modest schedule of, a handful of races in the first year, and then this year our schedule has grown all the way up to 17 races. For the past two seasons, we've sanctioned races in Illinois. And then this year we've added Minnesota with Deer Creek Speedway in the fall. So really grown quite successfully, quite well. And I think a big portion of that is our flexible rules package. So the way our rules are structured, any driver with a WISSOTA legal late model can unload their WISSOTA legal late model just the way it is and race with us and be very competitive. And then on the flip side of that, anybody with a World of Outlaws, Lucas Oil, XR Super Series legal late model can unload and simply insert a 1.25-inch restrictor plate under their carburetor, and then their car is legal. The restrictor plate may sound like a big step, but really it's not. What you'd find is a lot of these teams already have these plates. Weir's manufactures a drop-in restrictor system with multiple sizes of restrictor plates that interchange within the same apparatus, and the teams are already utilizing them as the track drives out through the night. So it's really not hard. It's not a lot of work, and we've found that it equalizes competition really well, and the diversity and spread of wins throughout our series between WISSOTA motors and the open motors that you see in the National Touring Series is very even.
That's interesting you mentioned that, because that was one of the questions that I was going to ask you. Do you feel like there is, I almost hate using this word, it seems like it's overused, but is there parity amongst the different types of late models that might show up to compete at your events? Do you feel like they are all, relatively speaking, equal?
I really do. I feel like we've got a really good handle on on equality and parity between the engine packages. In dirt late models, fortunately, most other components are the same from east to west. They really don't change. But I feel like we've done a really nice job balancing what you can and can't do with an engine to make it work so that anyone is competitive when they unload. The other thing is we are still racing on a dirt surface, and so as the night progresses and as the track is wetter or drier or takes rubber, horsepower becomes less relevant and really comes down to handling. So it's early in the evening where that horsepower matters, but I would like to say we've done a good job leveling the playing field between the two engine packages with the way our rules work now.
I think we have been very lucky at Mississippi Thunder Speedway in the fact that we have been able to have quite a diverse collection of traveling late model series come to the track, and we've been so fortunate that all of those series that have come here have put on phenomenal programs. We've seen great racing, and the competitors and the directors of those differing series seem to enjoy coming to Mississippi Thunder Speedway. So I would ask you, Jason, as the face of the Dirt Kings Late Model Touring Series, you do have a core number of drivers who I would call kind of traveling Dirt Kings drivers. I know that you pull in drivers from different areas, but you do have a kind of a core group who seem to follow your tour around. What's been the response from those drivers about your previous visits to Mississippi Thunder Speedway, and have they been vocal about hoping that you continue to return to MTS?
Yes. The short answer is yes. Everyone wants to continue to return to MTS. You talked about other touring series. The network of promoters is that we talk, right? So we're a community inside of racing. So I know I spoke with Casey Schumann after the World of Outlaws' first visit to Mississippi Thunder, and actually I talked to Casey before, and I said, Casey, whatever you got to do, you got to get to MTS. And you talked about the success of our previous shows there, and it starts on track, and you cannot undervalue and understate the hard work that Bob Tim does to have that racetrack in tip-top condition every time we race there, and we're very grateful for it because we always arrive to a race-ready, fast, competitive racing surface. Bob Tim, for my money, is leading the industry in how he is working diligently to prepare that racetrack and have it ready to go. After that, Tyrone Lingenfelter does such a great job with the promotion and hosting the event and making sure that everything goes off smoothly, and the fan experience from the time you walk through the gate is clean, is friendly, it's efficient. The concessions are great. There's a bar. Everything a fan could want, you can find it at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. They added the new grandstand, so there's plenty of room to spread out. It's a great show. It's clean. It's safe. It's somewhere you can bring your family. They've got an area for the kids. Front gate to back gate and everywhere in between. It's such a well-run facility that for the Dirt Kings Tour, it absolutely is one of our favorite destinations all year long, and we're always very happy to get to make the trip twice a year and put on a good show for the fans because the place is always packed, and we expect it will be again on Friday night. But so cool to come to MTS. We really like it there.
Yeah, I do want to talk about this Friday night's special event, but I do have two more quick questions about the Dirt Kings itself. Do you feel like what you have created with the Dirt Kings Late Model Touring Series fills a niche in the late model series genre of racing, or is it more about the area, the region? Are you filling a need in the region, or maybe it's a combination of both?
So I think what we're doing is actually bridging the gap between two regions.
Okay.
I think we've done it pretty well, in Minnesota and North Dakota and everywhere that is, let's call it WASOTA country, where you've got WASOTA late models and they're most prevalent to run that package. We've blended that WASOTA country with the Illinois and some of the Iowa, Indiana, UMP style late models where you have more of an open motor type late model setup. So we've blended those two really well. We talked about the rules, and I think it's been a very nice fit to have guys able to race from both places, and then also to have our drivers be able to go in either direction and also race. Or when World of Outlaws comes to town, they can load up and come race with the World of Outlaws too. So I would say we've kind of bridged the gap really well and been a happy medium for both, and that really has led to our success and some of the notoriety that the tour scene in its first 6 years.
The second thing that I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about is the title supporter, the title sponsor of the Dirt Kings. We recently brought WABAM on board, and I think it seems like, from the outside looking in, it's a very natural fit.
It is. So we're in our second year with WABAM as the title sponsor of the Dirt Kings Tour, and it is a natural fit because at the dirt track, you get dirty, and WABAM is the ultimate cleaner. They have the best cleaning products on the market, and their cleaning products, their polishes, everything they do will absolutely knock your socks off when they use it. WABAM's mission is to make cleaning fun, and I can tell you that all of their cleaning products they're of such quality that you don't have to sit and scrub at whatever you're doing. One of my favorites is WABAM Shine. It's a silicone-based protectant. Maybe you've used Armor All or something like that out of Grandpa's garage. Well, let me tell you what, WABAM Shine knocks Armor All right off the shelf. This stuff is amazing, and on top of that, every product they have has an appealing scent. It smells good to use, and you will not find a better line of cleaning products anywhere. So, check them out. GetWABAM.com.
All right, this Friday night's special event is the $3,000 to win Stars and Stripes 40 with the WABAM Dirt Kings Late Model Touring Series. And joining them will be some on-track action from some of the divisions that you normally see on a regular Friday night at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. That includes the USRA Modifieds, the USRA Stock Cars, the USRA B-Mods, and the USRA Hobby Stocks. So there will be plenty of green flag action. And Jason, I mentioned this earlier, the green flag action that you and your series have brought to MTS during your past visits has been nothing short of edge of your seat exciting. We've had multiple winners. I think it's shown that different types of cars can be winners at Dirt Kings Late Model Touring Series events at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Jake Tim, he has had 3 of them. He has been able to do well at his quote-unquote home track. But Dustin Sorensen, who also is kind of a regular, has a win. But it's been nice to see names like Chad Mader pick up a win. And John Canta, oh my goodness, who wasn't happy on that July night in 2020 when John rolled into victory lane. And Rodney Sanders has also picked up a win. So the reason why I wanted to run through that kind of a name-dropping list of former winners is it does show a wide variety of different drivers who compete in different series, during their regular weekly performances or during their travels. And that's one of the things that I think everybody likes and appreciates about the Dirt Kings.
Yeah, I agree. You get a good mix, a good spread of where guys are coming from and who's winning the races. You know what we haven't had yet, and maybe Friday night is the night, we haven't had a Dirt Kings Tour regular find their way to victory lane at MTS. And I've got to think that our guys have gotten enough seat time there, and they're getting the hang of the place, that it's about time that we're going to see a regular from the Dirt Kings Tour crack into victory lane.
I have talked with a lot of your quote-unquote regular tour drivers in the years past since you've been coming up to Mississippi Thunder Speedway, whether it's been on Thunder Talk or my Friday night program Live Trackside. And one of the things it seems that I hear from a lot of your regulars is that the track layout is a little different, more high bank, higher speeds, than eastern Wisconsin sort of tracks, and also the racing surface. They said they're used to driving on more of a kind of a sandy, drier surface. Yep. But as you just mentioned, they've had a couple of years now to learn the racing surface, learn the track layout, and maybe this Friday night is one of those nights when we see a Dirt Kings late model regular rolling into victory lane and putting that crown on.
Yeah, absolutely. Wherever we go, we never count out Nick Andelin, who's our 5-time champion. Nick has been to Mississippi Thunder several times now, and I think he's got to be a contender when we start looking at the lineup. But Troy Springborn ran second to John Canta that July night you're talking about in 2020. So Troy has a good line around the racetrack. Brett Swedberg's another guy who has ran really well. there. So, I mean, we've got some guys who are knocking on the door, along with the guys who are closer to home there. So, really going to be an exciting night of racing. I can't wait to see how it all shakes out.
Well, Jason Shultz, director of the WABAM Dirt Kings Late Model Touring Series, I want to thank you for squeezing us in this week as we prepare for your travels west to get over here to Mississippi Thunder Speedway and enjoy some great action on the big third mile. For those of you who want to attend, I got to tell you, there's nothing better than sitting in the seats and watching these late models rip around the track, whether it's that high line just brushing up against the concrete lap after lap, or whether it's finding some moisture down at the bottom of the banking, or whether it's running through one of the two grooves in the middle of the banking. There's always action from the bottom of the banking all the way to the top of the banking, and the Dirt Kings Late Model Touring Series brings it every time they visit Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Front gates open this evening at 5:30. MTS Happy Hour invites you race fans to the concession stands for some special pricing from 6:15 to 7:15. Hot laps will be at 7 o'clock with racing immediately to follow. Remember, you can find all of this information online by either pointing your favorite internet browser to the official Mississippi Thunder Speedway website, MississippiThunder.com. You can follow all of the Mississippi Thunder Speedway social media efforts, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, whichever platform you like to follow. Mississippi Thunder Speedway is there. And of course, the Dirt Kings are very active on social media as well. So make sure that you follow all of their social media efforts. And you can get not only the information about this week's program at Mississippi Thunder Speedway, but all the upcoming events that might be in your neighborhood so that you can check them out at other tracks as well. Again, Jason Shultz, I thank you for joining us, and can't wait to see those Dirt Kings on the high banks tonight.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for having me on.
That was Thunder Talk, keeping you up to date on everything going on at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Thunder Talk is powered by Arcadia Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
You ever notice that when you're on a fishing trip, you drive your boat all the way to the other side of the lake because you think that's where the best fishing is? And the people staying at the cabins on that side of the lake, well, they come and fish where your cabin is. You don't have to drive a long ways to catch the big fish. And at Arcadia Motors, you don't have to drive a long ways to get the best deal on a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram truck. The best deals are right in the bay next to your cabin. Take the short, scenic drive to Arcadia Motors. ArcadiaDodge.com.